these carries.
Ooh.
And this is the evolution that I want to jump into, is the Zeri band on blue side forces then the Jinx band from the red side here. So then you leave up the supports. Rakan still highly prioritized. You expect the Xayah to go with it. And JDG...
Look at this though, Rakan first pick, which means that, well, I mean, there's no reason not to. Actually, this is really interesting, because I thought that the Ahri Vi would be...
Jayce plus Maokai, maybe?
But it may very well be the direction. I mean, JDG could also just do AD carry lock-in now. It depends how much they care about securing the Aphelios. Maybe from their perspective, they don't believe that BLG will go for the Aphelios. Of course, with the Maokai up, you did talk about it, Jayce can be flexed, has proven to be a very effective mid laner so far in the series.
It's just such a good one, too.
Instead, we'll see where they decide to go in the end. Obviously, Annie's still a possibility as well, but so far, Jayce has been winning out in that matchup. Knight, especially on the Jayce, has just constantly been barraging damage down onto BLG, and he'll have it once again for Game 4.
All right, so now we expect the Xayah and jungle here, possibly, for BLG if they want to keep it even.
I mean, Ahri.
Yeah.
Like,
Ahri, bring the Ahri back, yes.
Yeah.
Forgo the Annie completely and go with that kill combo. Level 6, hit that Jayce where it hurts.
Gives you really good gap close onto the Jayce as well. Vi locked in. The Xayah as well, which does make sense because you don't want to have the Rakan teamed up with something else in the bot lane. Xayah really facilitates him so much in what he wants to do, and now JDG looking towards a bot laner of their own.
I think the Aphelios makes a lot of sense. This does, of course, mean that for BLG, they're looking to ban away the Lulu. I wonder if they'll also ban away something like the Thresh or the Tahm Kench. Ahri, of course, being removed from JDG makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the Ahri Annie kind of expected, I guess, on that side as far as the explosive engage possibilities whenever you combo it with Vi. Meanwhile, the answers here from BLG. Try and whittle down on some supports, we expect. Take away from Missing's pool here.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a Taliyah ban come out from JDG as well. Something that we've also seen Yagao pair up with the Vi as well.
And Tahm Kench works well into that, because if Vi ever locks someone down with the cease and desist, you can gobble them out and make sure they get to safety. So the Tahm Kench ban from BLG.
I feel like they'll follow it up with a Lulu ban
Yeah.
to deny the Aphelios here.
Kennen actually going to come out. Okay.
Again, it's just a really strong zone control. As much as like it didn't look great from Bin in the last game, if Elk hadn't been so far behind that you really couldn't do anything through your AD carry, the Kennen does still give you a huge amount of presence in team fights. Gragas instead banned away by BLG, which hints to me maybe they're looking for the Jax in the top lane once again for Bin. 369's Gragas has been very good into that Jax.
I think it will be Sion Taliyah from BLG, and I think for JDG they'll do either Thresh or Lulu. It depends on what they value more. Because the thing is, if they don't believe that they're going to get the Sion and they want it, this would be a good time to lock it in. Perhaps you'd be worried a little bit about your damage, but in terms of frontline, I guess, okay, they're fine. So they have the extra safety from the Thresh. I think Thresh Flay can also be very effective into both the Rakan and the Xayah. Let's have a look now. What will the final lock-in here be for BLG? I did contemplate the Sion. I think that Taliyah is a given for Yagao. It's such a comfortable pick for him. I think it synergizes so well with the Vi as well.
Of course, the Gnar would work well with the Taliyah. You can Gnar
Safe
people
blind.
into the wall, as you say, a very safe blind. Sylas, obviously, we have seen picked into the Maokai, and it will be locked in for BLG.
All right, and then they know 369 already sees his Gnar matchup.
They're just they're browsing through all of their options right now. JDG no. Yeah, I did consider the Sylas, but I thought it would be a little bit too risky, just because like you are playing that melee into melee, like the Jayce can have a lot of advantages. You also don't have a great ultimate to steal specifically away from the Jayce. But the main reason why you pick Sylas in this position is more for the Maokai. We've seen it so many times. We saw it at Worlds last year. Xayah, in particular, was a big advocate for the Sylas into the Maokai. And I think that this is something that just gives you a lot more teamfight agency, and then you have the great follow-up with the Vi and the Rakan as well.
This is just such a straightforward comp here from BLG. After what we just saw in the previous game, they're trying to get back some stability. Vi here with the ultimate can go to either mid lane or bottom lane, looking for some focus early on. JDG have been so good, though, about setting up Ruler, and they get that Thresh Lantern for him for that extra safety to be able to reposition in the face of all this engage from BLG. So much dive here from BLG.
As we see the coaches fist bump on the stage, we are getting ready for a game that was built to succeed, the team that has been promised victories in essence throughout the course of the year. Or is it BLG from 5th to finals and perhaps a title to boot? JDG 5 men strong going down towards the bottom lane.
Split map to be expected. 369 on this Sion. Wants to make sure that they can get vision in this bot lane. Will they go for the delayed invade? Of course, BLG already trying to scout it out.
The fans want more games.
Yeah, they do. There's more BLG chance than JDG chance out there. And we'll see if BLG can fight back. Because when JDG have won, it has been convincing. It's been suffocation. BLG have been grasping at straws to find a way back into the game. When BLG won, it was a lot more messy and a lot more of what people would call traditional LPL play. More skirmishes, more fights.
Yeah, we have been starved of the LPL fights that we were promised.
I mean, the last time they met, we had huge fights, 4v5 around a Baron, Knight, and Ruler, just auto-spacing perfectly. And this has been much more decided by who wins the early game, who manages to pick off a couple of skirmishes, especially around the Rift Hold. And then from there, whether or not the enemy team can find a way back into the game. Yagao already half HP, as you say. Of course, Yagao will have the Kingslayer when he gets up towards level 2 or 3, but right now he is feeling the brunt of Knight's gun.
So in draft, this is one of the things that I was talking about around the risks that you do have on the Sylas, especially starting with the E means that you have to put yourself in range of Knight. And he will have the push for the time being. Keeping my eyes on the junglers as well. Vi doing a full clear on the bot side of the map. Kanavi doing a full clear on top side. On gets a knockup.
We'll just put some damage down into Missing. I like that from On, steps forward into Missing so that when Missing flays him, he's actually closer to Missing, meaning it's a lot easier to land the W knockup. A little bit of a micro interaction there from the Rakan to make sure that he could trade back effectively.
Then they get control of the minion wave there for JDG moving up, making use of that green gun for Aphelios. Poking away towards bottom side, and Yagao running out of consumables here, relying on the Doran shield and the second win regeneration with the onslaught of the poke from Jayce in mid lane.
The hover from Sion. Knockup sidestep by Missing.
Ignite goes down, Missing has to flash away. Hook, there's a minion there. BLG have a bit of a savior, as if that hit On, I think he would have fallen, did still have the flash.
Ruler has such a health advantage here though. Elk ended up taking so much damage in the exchange, even though they forced the flash out from Missing. I think JDG's bot lane isn't too upset about it. We have push in top for Bin, but Yagao forced underneath his turret for now. That means that Knight will, of course, go for a little walk.
The investment from the jungler of BLG here, though, clearing only the bottom side, placing the ward, and then coming back up.
Here it comes.
So Knight is here, and Kanavi is on his way. Level 2 for On and Elk. Can you defend? Level 3 hit, Gleaming Crow going out as well, the heal. An immediate teleport from BLG will protect their AD carry and support.
Yeah, Yagao goes back, teleports right back out. He's just double Dorans with refillable here.
Kanavi going in, knocked up. Yagao trying to trade back onto him. Kanavi down to half HP. Long range shot from Ruler will put some damage back down.
And this is that problem I'm talking about with the jungle clears, when you're just clearing on bottom side first for Vi. Vi has to go back towards top side. Meanwhile, Maokai got an easy full clear off to the bottom side of the map, has that level 4, gets that bottom side Scuttle Crab and the pressure along with his mid laner. Chunking away a little bit, trying to get every little just tiny advantage towards bottom side that you possibly can.
There were a lot of little things that led up to that dive as well. The 2v2 trade that happened in bot where Ruler walked away with a big health advantage. The fact that Knight got a favorable trade in mid, guaranteeing him that push, meant that he could also move towards bot lane. But now it's BLG's turn to go on the attack. Let's see if they can find a play here. Should know deciding against it.
Yeah, both junglers know second respawns of Raptors here, so both playing around mid. The coveted Raptor camp. All you have to do as the Maokai is shadow Jayce. Jayce already has control of the minion wave, push it in, and come hover. Bottom side again.
I mean, this is what JDG have done so well. It's really shut down Elk and On, and with no vision around here, you can see the bot lane of BLG just having to pay respects. Backing all the way away. This is going to be a full plate over to JDG early on.
This is just picture perfect. Mid lane prio leaks into bottom lane. Every minion wave matters. That last minion wave, again, shoved in by Ruler, by Missing. with the support from their mid lane and jungle, hovering just in the fog of war, just with that threat.
300 gold lead already in the bot lane. We see about 150 in mid. And of course, Bin with his isolated 1v1, building a lead once again. So far, he's done a great job this series. It was only really game one where we saw him not having a lead in the Jax versus Gragas matchup. But aside from that, the carries, Knight and Ruler for JDG, have consistently found advantages. And unfortunately for Sion, he's not really been able to have his presence felt on the map over the last few games.
And Bin knows he's got a long farm lane ahead of him. Goes for the 5.5 minute cull.
Well, if you know you're going to get an extra 100 CS, there's 300 extra gold for you in the end. Bin realizes, as you say, he's on a little bit of an island, but we consistently see Ruler step up when it really matters. Elk has been so strong for BLG through the course of their progression through the lower bracket against Gen G, against T1, but throughout this series, it has very much been the Knight show, and Ruler there to back him up when called upon. And when BLG are set behind like this, often they look up towards the top lane. They look up towards Bin on something like the Gwen to really be able to carry the later game fights. But here on the Gnar, does still have agency, still can do a lot in a team fight, but doesn't have the same damage output as a Gwen.
Meanwhile, since the bottom lane was able to push back out here for BLG, Shun slips in on the Dragon.
Kanavi could come across, can just twist it, advance forward, look for the smite still, could even just go on to Shun, coming across, but Kanavi has the smite. Looking to get that down to 600 HP, good hook from Missing, will keep on at bay. Kanavi needs to hit it, will secure the Dragon now, and BLG are left wondering exactly how that went down. Really just Kanavi coming across and spotting out Shun.
Well, Knight was able to move first. The bot lane also not really in a position to offer assistance. And Shun, I think he was just mainly concerned about the collapse. You also look at the level difference between the junglers. A full level advantage in favor of Kanavi.
And Shun didn't actually have the support of his bottom lane there, so now they're under attack. Kanavi, with his level lead in the jungle, with the power farming of the Maokai that, remember, started from the very beginning. Easy full clear for him, down to the bottom side of the map. Level 6 Maokai walking in, face check.
Shun runs away from it.
He's going to respect it, I guess, again, because of the pressure that Knight has in mids. And we talked about how impactful this Jayce has been. We're continuing to see it again. The risk of running the Sylas is how much agency it gives Knight over the matchup, and now Kanavi focuses his eyes on bot lane.
On will block it, El gets hooked, but the cleanser out immediately. Good Moonlight Vigil from Ruler, and On takes an absolute chunk of health. In the end, we'll be able to dash away and survive, but that's all Summoners burnt for the BLG bot lane.
JDG are just so good at utilizing mid-jungle to leak into bottom lane. They go for the dive, they get all the Summoner spells out. Now Elk, all by his lonesome. At least he did get his level 6, so he has his ult to be able to stick around and pick up the minions.
I mean, JDG just continue to play around their bot lane so well. It's just so many little things where it's like that initial trade into the wave being in a good state, into then arriving at the right time. Just the coordination on the side of JDG is clearly world class, and they're using it to build a decent lead in this early game.
I love that the observers keep reminding us that top lane does indeed exist. Thank you very much. The Rift Herald is also up though, so now if you get bottom side push, it can transition into early roams towards Rift Herald. And again, this is such a big swing point for the game, these fights. So we'll see about the next cooldown on Maokai Ultimate, and showing yourself to the Sylas can be very detrimental, of course. Always have to worry about giving over that premium ult to the Sylas steal.
One of the risks, though, of playing towards this Rift Herald is Aphelios has red-white guns. And Aphelios takes towers basically quicker than any other AD carry. You can see he's trying to push in the bot lane alongside Missing, while Shun and Bin will take the Rift Herald.
And they're actually are they gonna double rotate the Xayah Rakan bottom to defend Yagao? They're actually they're gonna take Rift Herald, knowing JDG sacrifice it, and they're gonna get the 3v2 themselves.
We're going forward, there's the charm, he has a lantern, but the lock up onto Ruler. Yagao looking for more, he still has the flash, and Ruler will manage to escape.
Really nice from BLG though. They prey on the expected response from JDG, and that is a critical flash. Might come back to haunt them. Rift Herald picked up, plus they defend what was assumed to be a 2v1 on bottom side.
Elk not being there meant that they didn't quite have enough damage to get the kill, even though Ruler was so low. Sylas doesn't have the most damage, especially with this itemization this early on in the game. Those cooldowns are also quite high.
Chucks the crystals at him. It's
yeah,
like, please.
He's just doing his best. But Ruler does get away with his life. As you rightly said, no flash. Now Kanavi hovering around top. I don't think they can really kill Bin here. Let's see if they... Of course, Knight moved into Fog of War. Bin has to be cautious of this.
You'll see it now. The ult comes out. There's the slow as well. Unstoppable Onslaught will get the chase down, and in mini Gnar form, that Gnar is mighty tiny. First blood over to 369.
I underestimated the damage. The chain CC was good from JDG. And now Jun on the cross map. The vision will come through from Ruler.
I think you just hard invest into this, right? Force Ruler missing away. You have the Herald. You can put more gold into Elk's pockets. Shun and On will walk around the corner to step out away from that ward, but even with missing staying around, there should be at least a couple turret plates. You can see the reaction coming out from Kanavi as well. He's just gone back to bases around the tier 1 right now, and with the Rift Herald down, I think JDG realized, well, the Herald will die. We are going to lose these plates, and there's not much we can do to stop it from happening.
Yeah. Bottom side plates picked up here for BLG. Top side, yes, given over to Sion. 369 did get one in the exchange, but you well know bottom side one's worth way more. I do, since we have all recalls right now, want to take a moment to talk about those top side wards. If we could scroll up in the river to the ward that Bin placed, which is in the brush right here. There is an evolution that has taken place because junglers, when that ward is placed so much, they hover outside the brush right there. The wards then move deeper into the river to see that little alcove, but Bin had his in the brush. So this positioning from Kanavi is what I'm talking about. You can hide right on the edge. If you don't go into the river, then brushed wards won't see you, but the evolution where top laners started putting them deeper into the river would see you. And that little difference there, he does get full comboed, so much CC with the Maokai ultimate. Nicely done by JDG. Kanavi leads with the ult, nice follow-up.
I mean, Shun tried to show us that last game, right? But he was spotted exactly by that wall that you're highlighting, Kobe. So, first blood to JDG. A much slower game than I was expecting.
JDG still 1,200 gold ahead, and a lot of that's got to be sitting on Knight. 20 CS lead for him.
Here we go. Maokai ultimate on Yagao.
Will Yagao use the Nature's Grasp? There it goes. Kanavi answers with one in response. The roots are going to come out. The Dragon already secured for JDG. And now in the pit, Shun really caught out, but a good quickness charm. Elk not here to put any damage down yet. And he begins to dive in. Season assist onto Ruler as Elk looks for the damage. The Feather Storm coming out as well, but he just can't pull the feathers back quickly enough. JDG shut BLG down.
JDG walk away without a scratch on them. Clean fight, 3 kills, plus the Dragon. This team is too good. They know BLG too well.
And they're just so well coordinated as well. It's 5 fingers making a fist and punching BLG into the dirt.
Just a great team fight once again from JDG. This series looks done and dusted, but let's have a look back at this fight. Yagao throws the Nature's Grasp down. Kanavi with the immediate response. He does secure the smite as well. And then look at the positioning of Ruler here. On tries to find an opportunity, flashes in, gets the knock up, but then the rest of the team immediately there to pivot. He has the lantern to safety, and this is what really splits up BLG.
And Vedius, that whole thing was a 4v3. Yep. Elk was walking the whole time during this replay from behind Dragon, only arrives at the very end to have a Feather Storm after the team has already been destroyed. The 3v4, they saw it, they wanted to counter it, but if you're not in position, if you don't have your timing, if you don't have your AD carry there, you simply cannot compete.
And if Elk is there, it's a very different play. The quickness into the Feather Storm, pull those feathers back. You can just burst through Ruler in that situation. Knight continues to show Yagao that he is currently the king in this mid lane. Forces Yagao out. Shun perhaps looking for something. Kanavi's going to match him though, and Kanavi has done this so well. Every time Shun looks for a gank, Kanavi is there lying in wait, and he's going to turn it around onto him. The Nature's Grasp coming out. Shun goes in with the Season assist, tries to dodge away. There's a lantern there as well as Kanavi takes JDG's 5th kill of the game.
Uh-oh. JDG are going to start rolling over the game now. Knight had a 2-level lead. Bin jumps in for a little trade as he goes mini, but this is, again, the classic JDG gold spread. They don't care. 369's on his tank on top side. Everybody else is ahead.
BLG is very quickly crumbling. The underdog story may very well come to an end right here, right now. JDG is the one mountain that BLG have failed to overcome this year. And while expectations were high, everyone knew that it was going to be a difficult path. BLG, they need to start getting creative if they want to stand a chance in this game. If they just let JDG play the way that they want to, they're going to run away with it. So they need to start finding picks. They need to start getting a little bit crazy if they want to stand a chance of bouncing back.
Right now, Kanavi is the one who's making the plays all over the map. Bin does respect the fact that JDG could be collapsing and backs away to his tower. On the rest of the map, though, BLG really have nothing to farm, nothing to take, not even jungle camps to steal away.
Fellas, we're 15.5 minutes into the game, and the objective bounties are already showing.
Yep.
They can only show as early as 14 minutes. That's pretty early here for JDG. This JDG team was built to do one thing, win. And they have done that. And consistently, especially against BLG, they get second Rift Herald as well. They will deny any hope of that objective bounty shutdown for BLG. And then they can just rotate over once again. They have 369, bottom side, so consistent. AD carry plus support moved into that mid lane.
LPL champions, of course. Oh,
ult. They're looking for something creative as Knight is locked down. The chase comes out, but Knight flashes away. And they thought he got him, you thought he got him, but in the end, Knight still able to escape. Kanavi coming across to make sure that his mid laner survives.
You can see that BLG is trying. They are trying to find something, but JDG will not give them an avenue of attack. 5K is now the goal difference. The next dragon spawns in 45 seconds. And I wonder if BLG even feel confident enough to force it. They do have decent items. They have hit a couple of points, but the problem is JDG likely going to go back to base, spend some of that gold, hit some bigger spikes. Look at this BF now picked up for Ruler.
Also as well, in this situation when you're this far behind, often you'll think, well, we can't fight now. Maybe at 3 items we can take it. Maybe we can outscale. But looking at these compositions, JDG scale very well as well. The Jayce poke is going to be so strong, the Sion's going to be unkillable, and then you have an Aphelios who will just hyper carry through the late game. BLG, as we've said, have to find something miraculous. And right now, there are no miracles in the offing.
It is a struggle for BLG right now. The dragon is up, and they're in a position to contest. They're going to look for the pick.
Quantum missing, hook goes down, Shun flashes into it, and the Nature's Grasp will not be enough to disengage. Yagao now caught up by Kanavis, and Yagao will go down too. 7-0 in favor of JDG, and they are sending a message.
It is an absolute slaughter on the Rift right now. JDG is showing zero mercy as they will walk this Herald into the tier 2. They will secure themselves their 3rd dragon of the game. Bin will force a flash out of missing, but the damage has been done. JDG have just extended their gold lead even further.
Oof. All the BLG have been able to hope to get in this game.
He's looking for the steal. He's literally just jumping in by himself to try and take it! And Bin secures it! Delays the soul by 5 minutes, and now he's looking for more help, trying to trade with Ruler down towards the top side of the fight as Ruler flashes away. Bin doing everything in his power to wrest some control back into this game. But in the end, the Mountain Drake is his only prize.
Just as the hope was about to wash away from the team, Gigabin goes in. He gets an objective bounty shutdown. He gets a dragon for the team. It is a small drop in the bucket. It is one step, but it's something. It's something to build off for BLG. Knight's flash is down. They blew his flash in the last time they attempted.
We'll see him. Tries to get away. Shun coming in with the cease and desist as well. And as you say, Knight no flash. No way out for him. Cease and desist locks him down. The Eclipse shield will not be enough. And BLG are finally on the board.
Another shutdown for BLG. They're making it interesting here. Bin, another objective bounty shutdown.
The crowd going wild for objective bounties is not something I had on my to-do list for today. The wallop from Bin, Nature's Grasp coming out from Kanavi as well. Bin no flash, jumps back in. Kanavi will lock him up. Bin just trying to do everything he can. Will get the hyper out here, but in the end, shut down by Kanavi.
At the very least, BLG are finding something on the map. They're trying to create some chaos, disrupt this game that JDG have so beautifully set up for themselves. They will get a tower. They're looking to get another tower top lane. The TP will come through from Knight. Now he needs to be careful. Shun ulti not available just yet. Does he need to be careful?
Immediately Shun loses half his health. Yagao trying to come in from the side as well as Knight dies forward. And the Manamune Eclipse combo is just too much. You could kill him, but he'll take both your heads.
Call an ambulance, but not for Knight. 2v1 double.
Knight gets revenge on the mid jungle of BLG. and they will quickly convert that into the Baron. He flashes the top eSports logo to remind Yagao, who he benched as he joins JDG and is looking to take them to their first international trophy.
Baron for JDG, 20 minutes in, they are 7,000 gold in the lead, and the golden left hand of Knight just took down Shun and Yagao.
Yeah, smushes them into the ground with his sweeper. He knew as soon as he spots Shun there, all in, hammer form buffs, really, really nice, takes him out, and then Yagao was trying to peel for him. No hope.
It's been said before, but we'll say it again. This was the Knight that was promised. Domestically, he was a titan, but internationally, he could not prove himself. But here at this MSI, he has cemented himself as one of the top mids in the world, if not the top mid in the world, as he's looking to lead JDG to their first international title.
And the entirety of JDG have shown us just why the LPL and they are to be feared. BLG put on a good show getting through the LCK #1, #2 seeds, but in the end, their nemesis, the demon on their shoulder, continues to loom large. The 4 times these teams have played this year, JDG have won every single one, and they are looking to do it once again. Missing going forward, the hook onto On, not going to be too much, but there's good poke from Knight, and now in the bottom lane, JDG are pushing in to open up the base. Mid lane for 369, the rest of JDG down towards the bottom side. That inhibitor tower already down to 10% HP as Kanavi goes for the engage, and Shun is just locked up and just shut out of the picture. Knight diving forward, knocks Yagao back. Bin trying to go mega, but he just can't find any way to get in. The Nature's Grasp out again as JDG look to close it out.
JDG with a massive pick are looking to siege onto the Nexus and looking to win it all.
4 players and 2 Nexus towers in the way between JDG and their MSI title. The cannon minions helping them as BLG just retreat to the base. Bin TP's away, he knows it's done. And JDG are the 5 fingers of Knight's golden left hand, and they will claim the prize that was promised. JDG, your MSI champions.
Knight gets the tiebreaker in the Ping Chung battle here over Yagao, getting that international title, coveted. And JDG, that international super team, built for success and acquiring success.
And what a performance by them it was today, as we see them step up to the MSI trophy. JDG following in the footsteps of EDG, following in the footsteps of RNG. The LPL era of dominance continues. Let's send it down to the stage for Law and the victorious JDG for the trophy ceremony presented by Mercedes-Benz.